Hi guys! Welcome to Fundamentals of User Experience Design, a TUTS Plus premium course. I'm Sarah Khan, and today we're going to talk about how to find out who your users are. Here's what we're going to cover: getting data, metrics tools to try, demographics, technical capabilities, and then we will have an assignment. In our last lesson, Getting Started, we talked about the pluses and minuses of various types of user tests. I mentioned that an important piece is recruiting people who might use your application or website. You can't design a good user experience if you don't know who your users are. Not only do you not know what they're expecting from your website, you don't know their technical or physical limitations, cultural biases, or even what sort of device they're using it on. The first thing you need is a metrics tracking tool. There are real people using your site right now. That's a golden opportunity to find out what they're doing. If you're starting a brand new project, plan for how you're going to install metrics reporting as soon as you get up and running. If you're working on an existing project, get metrics stat. You have an amazing resource in the people who are currently or soon will be using your site or application every day. You can harvest a lot of information from them just by passively observing their actions. This information is known. It's just a matter of organizing it in a way that's meaningful and useful to you as a user experience researcher. So here are some tools that I've used. This is by no means a comprehensive list. There are so many tools out there, and I'm a big advocate of finding the tool that works for you. I don't think there's ever one right way to do something, but these are some that I've had success with. Google Analytics and Piwik are both free to use and require you to host them locally, so you're going to have a sysadmin on board. They harvest all kinds of data. Basically, they just parse your server logs, and they can tell you things like what type of computer the user is on, operating system, browsers, countries, where they came from on the internet. As in, they came from a Google search, did they link from somewhere, where did they go when they left, and more. Super powerful, but a little hard to configure sometimes. And this is a screenshot of where my users are coming from. So I know what languages I have to support. But that's a question that you're going to have to find out for your application. This is Crazy Egg. And actually, this is a screenshot from an application that I work on. Crazy Egg and Kissmetrics are my current favorites. They are both hosted and they both charge a monthly fee. I am in a place where I am lucky enough that my company will pay for that because they value that sort of thing. So that's a choice you have to make. I've found the levels of data they make available are more than worth it, and they both have just great UIs, which of course counts for a lot to me. Crazy Egg makes visual representations of data, making it as easy as looking at an image to determine who is clicking what. Kissmetrics allows you to define variables and campaigns throughout your website, so you can associate goals and conversions with specific actions. It also allows you to follow each individual user on a path through your site from start to finish, which that's kind of the holy grail in user metrics. It's a little hard to get that to happen. So the fact that Kissmetrics makes it so easy is a huge plus. And both are pretty highly customizable. Okay, demographics. While there's a lot you can learn from your metrics, there are some things you will have to enlist some help for. Your metrics can tell you what countries users are browsing from, but not much about their ages, races, etc. Part of the job as a user experience designer is to get out and talk to people. You can't hide in your cube. Whether you're in a large organization and can talk with customer service representatives, or you're a freelancer and you need to interview your client to find this out, take advantage of all the data resources that are available to you. Don't be afraid to schedule meetings. In this day and age, you're not designing for 1 or 2 screen widths, you're designing for hundreds of possible configurations between TVs, smartphones, Xboxes, laptops, iPads, Kindles, and everything else. They're inventing more every day. It's exhausting. It's important to design to the best of your ability for the device or the top few devices that users are viewing your content on. That does not mean just shrinking a web page down to, say, e-reader screen size, because the e-reader's experience is just so different. Somebody might be browsing a website sitting at their desk. They might be looking at their e-reader in the bathtub. It's a different experience, different distractions. So here are some things to consider. The experiences are fundamentally different, and the strengths and weaknesses of each should be taken into account. Smartphone apps are simpler and feature just a few big buttons that a user can click with their thumb while walking, for example. A user on a laptop will be able to negotiate a different experience with the benefit of a trackpad and two hands. Your metrics will let you know which types of users are the most common for you, and you can allocate resources accordingly. The same goes for browsers. There are so many different browser versions in the ecosystem right now. Most companies pick 4 or 5 of the most used and then support those. Okay, time for an assignment. What is your metric situation? I ask you. Pick a project that you're working on now or will be soon. Plan to install some metrics and figure out what information you're going to look for in those reports. There's a lot you can do with this information as it stands right here, but we're going to delve in a little deeper in our next lesson. So, next time on Fundamentals of User Experience Design will be Lesson 5, Creating Personas. This is Sarah Kahn, and from all of us here at Tuts Plus, thanks for listening.